Welcome into this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup Spring Football Tour. Today, Chandler High School coming off as good of a season they've had in years, lose a great senior class, but have more players waiting in the wings. We'll get into some of those in a moment. That's Jason Jewell, I'm Jared Cohen, and as we talk about Chandler High School, one player, a very intriguing prospect, picked up his first offer last week.
Yeah, Mason Moran, only going to be a junior, was offered by Boston College. Now, the intriguing thing about him is Coach Aguano thinks he's going to be a stud quarterback. He's going to have to wait his time behind Bryce Perkins, who's committed to Arizona State. But Moran, who's 6'3" and 180 pounds, was an all-section safety last year as a sophomore. So intriguing, like you mentioned, but a good offer for the first offer being from Boston College.
That's the only offer in the last week from Chandler. We'll get more about the Wolves here in a minute. But the other offers around the state of Arizona, we'll get to those. But before that, a huge commitment, Jason. LSU commitment for the top JUCO player in the state.
Yeah, four-star offensive tackle Javante Demond out of Glendale Community College committed on Tuesday to LSU. A kid out of Maricopa High School, was not recruited whatsoever, and has just blossomed. He's 6'7", 310 pounds, took care of his work academically. He's going to graduate this summer and enroll at LSU in July.
Just a great story, a local product going to play in the SEC at Baton Rouge. Now into some of the offers around the state of Arizona at the high school level. Don't want to talk too loudly about a Hamilton player here at Chandler High School, but Garrett Rand adds an offer in the past week.
Yeah, it was offered by Arizona. It's a second offer. Arizona State has offered as well. Only a junior, but he's going to be one of the top recruited players in that class.
And another defensive lineman, Cassius Pete, picks up a Pac-12 offer as well.
Yeah, the offers just continue to roll in for Pete. Was offered by Oregon. I think he's at 12 offers now.
Stephen Miller picks up offers from Utah and Colorado, as well as Boise State, who happens to be out here at Chandler High School right now. They really like the prospect out of Gilbert, has had a big spring. And Matt Pistone, we keep harping on him every week. The talented player out of Yuma Catholic added 5 offers in the past week, including Boise State, New Mexico State, Colorado, Montana, and Colorado State, just having a huge spring. And Jason, Nevada has come in and offered a couple players as well.
Yeah, you're starting to see players like Cade Coate, who is the Williamsfield offensive tackle now. I think he's at 5 offers with the rest of his Pac-12 offers, getting that offer from Nevada, offered by Boise State, ASU, U of A, and Oregon State. And then Dedrick Young, the talented running back / linebacker out of Centennial High School, was offered by Nevada as a running back, which is cool because a lot of the other schools are recruiting him as a linebacker.
And that's 2 offers in a row for Dedrick Young being recruited as a running back as well, right?
Yeah, CSU, Colorado State offered him this week as well as a running back.
Absolutely. So another offer, Taylor Powell, the second offer for him in consecutive weeks, offered by Colorado State as well. Like we mentioned, they got after Dedrick Young last week. And Bruce Hester gets his second offer. We saw him last week out at Mountain Point, offered by Arizona last week, this week, South Dakota State. So Jason, Air Force has come in and really made their rounds during spring football, really going after a lot of the best that Arizona has to offer and offering a lot of players, giving them their first offers at that. The first one, talented wide receiver Doc O'Connor out at Basha gets his first offer from the Falcons.
Yeah, I really like him. He's not real big, but he's very, very productive. He had over 1,000 yards receiving, scored a boatload of touchdowns last year for Coach Buskin and the Bears. A player I really like that I imagine will get the rest of the academy offers before it's all said and done.
Just winning the 100 meters for Queen Creek this past weekend, Weston Barlow.
Yeah, out of Queen Creek, I really like what he's done in the offseason, changed his body, put on some really good weight, ran under 11 seconds in the 100 meters, which is moving.
Brett Tons, you mentioned you loved him when you went out to Centennial.
Yeah, big fan of Brett. I think he's a guy that could be an offensive guard or a defensive lineman at the next level. Was offered as a defensive lineman. He's 6'3", 265 right now, but I know some more schools like NAU and UC Davis are really high on him as well.
Ryan DeLong, the big offensive lineman out at Mountain Ridge.
Yeah, you got to win your game in the trenches, and that, DeLong is a big guard, 6'3", almost 6'4", 285 pounds, and just a road grader inside at Mountain Ridge.
One of the top running backs in Arizona last year, Jalen Johnson, picks up his first offer.
Yeah, no one's talking about Jalen, but he was very good, and Westview runs the heck out of the football. Over 1,000 yards last year. First offer from Air Force for Jalen.
And then finally, the only player not getting their first offer out of this batch from Air Force is Nick Carmen, who we saw last week out at Mountain Point.
Yeah, the big talented offense tackle, second offer. Navy's also offered, so Air Force makes a second. I expect Army to jump in here pretty soon, but schools like Utah and NAU and UC Davis, they're also very high on him as well. He'll walk out of the spring evaluation period with a handful of offers.
So those are the latest offers. Jason, before we go, we're here at Chandler High School. School. As mentioned, they lose a lot of talent, but of course they have so many waiting in the wings. Who are some of the guys that really stand out as we're out here catching practice today?
Yeah, obviously there's guys like, Bryce Perkins is returning, but there's a couple underclassmen that Sean Iguanos are really high on. Nikhil Harry, the big talented wide receiver, is only a junior transfer here from Marcos Deniza, and then Chase Lucas was an absolute stud for them last year as a sophomore. He's only going to get better as time goes on.
And also Colby Taylor, Kerry Taylor's younger brother, looks exactly like him too, is out here, just a freshman. He's already received a Division I offer. So this Chandler team looking more and more talented. Coach Iguano has a great thing going here out at Chandler High School. That's Jason Jewell. I'm Jared Cohen. This has been the Recruiting Roundup Spring Football Tour from Chandler High School. Make sure you continue to stick with us during spring evaluation period.